As soon as we knew we were going to be putting high school students into this wing, I think it was fairly obvious that we needed to do something to what was here.
When we first moved into the school, we didn't use this wing at all.
Prior to the building of this wing, these extra areas were storage. So the physical footprint is actually very similar, but it's a drastic change to the insides.
This building wing that we're in is really the result of 6 years of planning, if not more, because we knew that we had a goal and we knew what we wanted this to look like, and so from the moment we moved in, we started planning.
The goal of the high school wing was to build a purpose-built space for the senior school students.
We've always been very good about the planning of this whole project from beginning to end, and so even when we started our middle school, we had teachers that were sent to Houston, Texas to do their training.
I was asked to go to Houston to do training under Betsy Coe, and happily accepted, and so went and got my middle school Montessori training, which I then returned and put that into place the following year.
And those teachers had the foundations to know what the school should look like and, for these students. So we used their expertise and sat and did drawings. Patrick, who is very artistic.
To be able to be a teacher and say, this is what my students need, can you do that for us, and have that become a reality is very powerful to me. Last year we have a group of students who are our pioneers, and they decided that they would progress through to the high school. They spent a year in the portable while we renovated this space for them.
Construction began right after spring break at the end of March, and we were done by the first week of school, complete.
And then one day Barb said, would you like to come in and see where it's at now? And I was just completely blown away. I remember that. I was going to cry because I was so blown away, because I said, oh, the light. The drawing doesn't show the light.
First day of school, we still had papers up on the doors so that people couldn't see in, because it wasn't quite done. We needed an extra week. The following Monday, when they came back to school, and they had decided that they would like to be blindfolded so that they all saw it all at the same time. So they came in, one hand on the person's shoulder ahead of them in a line, and into the great room space, and took off their blindfolds and were overwhelmed.
I know I've been hoping for this area for a really long time, and I know all the other teachers and all the other people have been working for this, and so when it finally came, it was just it was so exciting. I actually, when I first saw it with you, I broke out into tears. I started crying because I was so happy.
I couldn't wait for other people to see it, and then taking the staff and bringing them in and having them look like they were in Disneyland. That was so exciting.
It's kind of like my second home. When I come here, I don't have to worry about being uncomfortable in my surroundings, and I can kind of just do my own thing and be myself.
You don't feel so much trapped. You feel like you can embrace yourself.
I really appreciate the fact that the space has really embraced the open work environment of Montessori. We have lots of different areas for our students to work in.
I think it's different from other learning environments because it is not a teacher-owned space. I think walking into here, we get a sense of the students who operate in here.
It's been created for the student, and so the student doesn't have to fit into the space. The space was fitted for the student, and I think that's really exciting, and that's really what Montessori is, always about the student first.
We're very fortunate in this school that we're the front runners of Canada. I mean, in the United States, there's already quite a few Montessori high schools out here who are embracing this philosophy, who have looked at the fact that the student shouldn't be seen as a receptacle to pour knowledge into. The fact is the student should explore and build knowledge to themselves.
I think that in 50 years, people will look back and see the progression to more Montessori philosophies in conventional education.
Well, I'm really excited about 2015 when we see the first graduating class here. I can hardly wait. I've known some of the ones that are going to graduate since they were 3 years old starting here, and I just can't wait for this community to embrace that. Okay, I'm finished on that one. I'll start crying, sorry.